So it may be that the president decided that enough is enough here in terms of economic pain. He's got people at the table, and he's prepared to declare victory.
Eamon, stay there if you would. Eamon Javers, we just want to go to Steve Kovac, who's watching this 10% snapback in Apple, Steve, which, by the way, doesn't retrace the 30% it's down year to date. But this and Nike, which is up 8%. These are kind of the poster children of the China supply chain. Now, the China tariff goes up, Steve, interestingly enough, but the market is perceiving this as, hey, at least there's relief in other parts of the supply chain, like in India, I'm sure that they can lean on.
Right, there's relief there. And then India is the perfect example there, Kelly. India got hit with those 26% tariffs. And we've been talking, you and I have been talking about this for years, how India has become this offloading of supply manufacturing for Apple to build those iPhones. They keep increasing the amount of iPhones they build there every year. I would fully expect now, if these new tariffs stick, for Apple to shift even more production over to India because of that 10% rate. Also, Vietnam. Vietnam is a hugely important manufacturing center increasingly, and Malaysia for Apple. Vietnam, of course, I think it had something in the 40% range there, and they make a lot of the accessories there. That means Apple Watch, that means AirPods and things of that nature. But China, still the sticking point here with, what is it, 124-25% tariffs on China. That still puts a huge burden on the iPhone business. Remember, Kelly, between 80 and 90% of all iPhones are still made in China. So even if every single iPhone that they make in India gets shipped over to the United States at that 10% tariff rate, that's still not going to be enough to fulfill the demand that we have here in the United States. It is a relief. There's no doubt about it. That's why we're seeing the spike in shares here on Apple, but still a lot of work to be done here on the China front because they're so heavily dependent on China for the production of iPhones, for the production of many of their products. We are seeing diversification in Vietnam, Malaysia, and India, but still so much of the focus is going to be on China. And it's not just about the stuff being made in China and imported to the United States, Kelly. You got to remember, as this trade war heats up, we know China has this appetite for retaliatory measures. So we'll see what happens, what kind of screws it can turn on Apple as this trade war heats up just between these two countries.
Steve, appreciate it. Steve Kovac, Dow's up 2,600 points. The NASDAQ Composite is up 9.6%. Megan Casella has more. Megan, some comments from Lutnick.
Absolutely, a little bit more color, Kelly, that we're getting from the Commerce Secretary posting on X, saying that he and the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, who we know had just canceled that meeting with members of Congress, sat with the president while he wrote one of the most extraordinary truth posts of his presidency, referring, of course, to the 90-day pause. Lutnick goes on to say the world is ready to work with President Trump to fix global trade, and China has chosen the opposite direction.